I'm here with Katya Duft, the queen of the 181, 780, and the 217. She's the writer of Tales from the Bus blog on Facebook, and she's one of Busted's favorite performers, both live and on the webcast. Always excited to have you on the show, Katya.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to your story. Katya Duft.
Thank you. So, it was Halloween last week. And Halloween is the day when everybody gets dressed in costumes, takes the bus, gets drunk. You can see people in a variety of costumes, but it's very dangerous to assume that everybody else on the bus really does wear a costume. That's what happened to me a couple years ago. I was coming home from work on a 217. It was the Halloween day, so everybody was wearing a costume, except this one girl. I didn't think that was a costume, and I was right. She was wearing a very short skirt, a very short top, she had fake eyelashes, and she was wearing stripper shoes in her hands. I must have been the only one who was right, because a guy dressed as a policeman came to her, looked her in the eyes, and said, "Hey girl, what is your costume? Are you a prostitute or are you a stripper?" She got really offended. She said, "How dare you? You rich kids, you can celebrate your Halloween, and I'm poor, I have to make money, I'm a stripper, I'm just going to work, so leave me alone." And he was amazed, and he said, "Oh, come on, you're just joking with me. Can I arrest you for bad behavior?" That's when she got really angry with him, and she said, "Look, leave me alone, I'm seriously just trying to get to a club and do my work." And then he got really nasty with her. He said, "So, how much do you charge? Do you do lap dance? Are you also a prostitute? Do you give blowjobs?" That's when she got so upset, she started chasing him around the bus and trying to hit him with her shoes. And that's when he just had to believe her. So every time you're on the bus, it's just too dangerous to assume that all other people are dressed up in a costume or something. At some point, you can get really, really wrong. I never heard of I heard about irrational fear of clowns, but I never actually saw it. I never met anybody who was afraid of clowns until that one day when a guy with red curly hair, got on the bus, and his face was all covered with tattoos, and that made him look just like a real clown. I thought it was funny, kind of hilarious in a way, but a little boy who was sitting behind me with his mom didn't think so. He started crying and telling his mom, "Mom, look, that's a clown, I'm really afraid, let's get off the bus." And Mom goes, "No, honey, no, it's not a real clown, there is no such thing as a real clown. Look, he's just a boy just like you, let me come up to him and ask him to take his mask off." So she comes close to the guy, looks him in the face, and then she realizes that this is not a mask. This is his real face with tattoos. So she comes back to her son and she goes, "Okay, honey, okay, let's get off the bus. Let's go and wait outside and go get a frozen yogurt or something." And so when they pass the clown, he does that. So the little boy gets even more scared and he says, Mom, I told you there are real clowns and you didn't believe me. See, it's not a mask." And he starts crying and they leave the bus in a hurry. So that's a life for you when every day you can meet a person who is dressed in the funniest possible way. So when people get on the bus, before finding a seat, they look at everybody and make sure the person sitting next to you is safe. That's what happened to me just last week. The bus was almost empty. It was just me, this older lady, and maybe a couple other people. The lady was staring at me, and I was wondering, what's happening? The bus is empty. Why are you looking at me, ma'am? At some point, she just comes up to me, sits down next to me, and she's not thin. She's of bigger proportions, so suddenly my shoulder is pressed against the wall, against the window. I start thinking, why? The bus is almost empty. Why is she sitting next to me? I only had two ideas at that time. I was thinking either she's a missionary and is going to try and convince me to accept her religion, or maybe she's going to sell me something. So I was very unhappy with her, but I was also curious. So I asked her, "Tell me, why are you sitting next to me? This bus is almost empty." She looks at me and says, You wait, honey, you just wait. It's empty right now, but around Hollywood Highland, all these people will jump on the bus. There will be no seats available, and believe me, most of them will be completely creepy and scary and semi-insane people. But that's just my luck. Every time I get on the bus, I end up with somebody semi-insane. And I'm like, okay, then why are you sitting next to me? She's like, you know, honey, you look almost normal, and maybe you are normal, and you also smell nice. That's why I think it would be safe for me to stay next to you for the trip, if you don't mind. I was very relieved she wasn't trying to sell something or ask me to join her church, so I just let her stay with me on the bus. And so what I'm trying to say here, never assume anything about people who may end up next to you on the bus, and be prepared for the most unexpected on every single trip. And that's all for today. Thank you.
The red light! The red light! The red light!